Obia Bepino said, Anka, me national chairman, Dambuchi, Anka onye politician, Anka obeye osofo. Your cabinet no more, Onuna, na obompa me. Madame Wasi, Pesebuda Ubiasi, said, Mwase Bre Abaha. Minim say ya medu time a muti say yeba no dwumadi binti momfa nche wa yesremu nyina ene meni ajipa mebahu sa largest congregation in all the 16 regions are here meeting. This is the largest gathering of men and women of God here meeting. Medase Mijinaha MPP Amanyoko as the presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party for the 2024 election. My share here pro across all the regions of Ghana. First round, may call 15 regions, and then any 16th region, maybe Ashanti Region, maybe in the next 3 days. Enti Medamunyana Asi. May bo a promo, but yen say, Yamina AC Hene. And Yenipa, because Bible says, unless the Lord builds the house, they will labor in vain, those that build it. Iti sa aseno, edamakuma so, bibia meko itina, mpaibo ewe, because uye bibia na nyamini ewe nima enkoyi, itina, medi mpaibo eshiasia. Meso manante kakra abeduha. Me ya kola mako by day pen wofu. My cleaner, part of my studies to finance my studies. Na me ye dormitory cleaner. My taxi driver pen. My teacher. My warehouse boy. Meso my lecturer. My professor, my deputy governor, Bank of Ghana, my vice president, Mijina Wenima, my president. It immediately said, with God, everything is possible. It is possible. Because baby Amisha and Onami Gidi said, let me have Juma. Say, be a vice president, I may say, be a president. Gidi said ye Dambuki Kain, said ye Tia or Bible, said, Yame bet me you see will be a assistant society. We share Bawaumia. Cyrus, the story of Cyrus is very instructive to us. That Cyrus, not only Yamio or Jin Yamin Dio, but Yami you see to help the people of Israel. I mean, you see, Madame Fubi, Menene Nayako Primary School, you're done for up to now, or your pastor, or Tichima. Now, Menene dear grow all the time. Obisame said, can anything good come out of Wale Wale? And I may say, yes, if God wills it, something good can come out of Wale Wale. Yamiado, Ghana ha yetimu. Yamia Shirayo. We are a blessed country. Usually, we don't even appreciate it. We really don't. We take so many things for granted. But yetiho in the most peaceful country in West Africa. The most peaceful in West Africa. But we go about it, we don't even know. As if it's normal. It's not normal. We share countries are we share. There's no peace in many of them. They can't sleep at night, many of them. There's no peace. But Ghana, the most peaceful and one of the most peaceful in the whole of Africa. Whole of Africa. Sano, it's not just coincidence. Nyamina Eshirai. You have to always take it and understand. Say, Sana Eno. And we shall say Ghana, the key part, me might be, they say, the key part, a war in Ghana that is not there in many places, named religious tolerance. Religious tolerance. Very important. Ghana, the only country, chief imam of the country celebrating 100th birthday. Now I call Catholic Church. They are called Mkaye Amado or Catholic Church. Me who be that? Me who be that? Now, Ushe Sua, who pastors now Omako Church, Omako Mosque, Ramadan time now, dear. Me papa, na obe worry me mommy. Na me mommy a Christian. No, she was one of the girls. Sent it to Wesley girls from the north those days. Now a Christian, but because of our area, or convertee to Islam. Me papa nema Omotias ye 17 football team any reserves you can be 17 they are interesting you say yeah me papa and my brothers and sisters 17 no 9 ye Christians 8 ye Muslims me brothers and sisters 80 na me akora ye na Quran wo fie Bible so wo fie 80 na ni nyina ye kan na me akora na me call Methodist Boys Brigade na me ye brigader as a Methodist Boys Brigader ene me a vice president but still me a patron of the Methodist Boys Brigade of Ghana. Ghana, it's a beautiful country. Last year, the campaign chairman, Damboke Yeko, Akropong, President Omudi, 100th anniversary, or Akropong Presbytery. We call honor, Omo service, no, and I'm say, this is a baby because Akropong Presbytery, the history is a rich one. Mwabwa Ghana Pa. The people that have come through Homo schools, and I'm saying, the Messi School, Emma Presby Church, or Kuabuanta, and I will pursue our project, and I'm saying Messi School to honor the Presby Church and the Akropong Presbytery. 80 Namakwa Kusi School, no, you see, school, you are commissioning school, no, 80 you can see, say, I don't discriminate. My relationship with the church, and yet an asset is from childhood. Now I may share and relating to the church. My name Father Campbell, Catholic priest, be our cry. We are working on the lepers. He has Lepers Aid Committee. Me now I am patron of the Lepers Aid Committee of Ghana. And I'm saying so, I am a patron of the Mother Teresa's Soup Kitchen, Ewo Accra. I have very, very close relationship with the church, right from childhood. And Miso Michidi said, with God, everything is possible. Everything, anything, the campaign slogan, no, it is possible. That is what I want us all to believe. Say it is possible. It is possible to be like any of the developed countries. Whether you are talking of South Korea, Singapore, Estonia, Malaysia, Dubai, all of these places, we can be like them. Mimi Jidi said, we can be like them. 2010, 14 years ago, Namenye Vice President of Oxford University as a visiting scholar. But Nami Woho no me throw a book, book no on development in Africa and Ghana. And Ohono and America said, the world is going into the 4th industrial revolution, which is the digital age. It's the digital age. Enti Africa and Ghana, will be left behind. because we missed the first industrial revolution, the second industrial revolution, the third industrial revolution, and we shouldn't miss the fourth. To make sure we don't miss the fourth. The two concluding paragraphs of the book is the two concluding paragraphs. I entitled it "The Unwritten Rules of the Game." Unwritten rules. They say the world of development is competition. We are competing with every country in the world. A competition. So, competition no more. You have to prepare yourself. Because as I said, football game with other competitors. But only goalkeeper, you better show goal, sir. You have to put a goalkeeper. But your opponent will not come and tell you to put a goalkeeper in your net. If you come without a goalkeeper, they'll keep scoring. Because our fourth industrial revolution here, we have to be prepared. We have to put all the goalkeepers and defenders and everything in place. Now let's say, in this fourth industrial revolution, we have to prepare the foundations. Being Vice President, 2017, I decided to focus a lot of my effort on many of the things I wrote in this book about what we needed to do, the pillars we needed to put in place to make sure we can compete. Nanipa bebree GD said, you bet me a free senior high school education. Maybe by 2017, one of the first things our president disarmed me or say, you bet me a free senior high school education this year, and I say, Yamiado, it is possible. We can do it in 2017. And so we organized the budget so that we put in free senior high school education in 2017. 2017, so once we implemented it, the total number of students are now almost senior high school. At the end of 2016, now 800,000 students. 2017. By the end of 2023, 7 years later, you were 1.4 million students in senior high school. So for 60 years of Ghana's independence, the enrollment was 800,000. For 7 years of senior high school, free senior high school education, we added 600,000. 60 years, 800, 7 years, 600,000. Actually said, we are going to transform this country. Because now actually says so many people now omuwa sikanenti omantume amfa omonkora eko senior high school. And then what is the ANGN say? There are more girls now enrolled than boys in senior high school education. Hereby, for every 100 boys, there were 68 girls. Today, for every 100 boys, there are 106 girls. So the girls have taken over, and it is good for the country. And what is also very good, they said, the performance of the students have gone up. The 2016 WACSI Core 6 subjects performance pass rate 2016 41%, 2023 64%. So we have increased the performance. So the idea na yesuro say quality will decline. It has not declined. And recently we have become the first in Africa and one of the few in the world to give senior high school students tablets with all their education material on it. One of the first, we are the first in Africa to do so, as far as I know. One of the few in the world, very few. Anyway, I'm yet to know, maybe some of the Scandinavian countries. But I talked to Estonia, one of the most digitalized countries in the world, and they haven't done it. They say they are thinking about doing so. The next major issue many tools so it was the digital identity, the Ghana card. To participate in the digital economy, if your entry into that field is digital identity, only digital identity, you cannot participate because everything will revolve around your digital identity. Osha, many countries are trying to do so. European Union, EU, they've given all their countries a deadline of 2030 to issue digital ID cards. EU, America hasn't yet started. They are only talking about it now. America. But in Ghana, we have issued 18 million cards to all the adult population in Ghana. And we are also very soon going to start issuing to those in school, that's from 6 years to 14 years. NIA is going to the schools and we are going to issue. But what is even more important is that we have started already issuing national ID numbers for babies who are born in the hospital. They are Ghana card numbers. Abrochiri yewa yedi ID ema, whether it's social security number, national insurance number, but the national ID number, whatever it is given at birth. Now we didn't have the systems. You had to wait and get a birth certificate for the child. You're taking 3 databases. The National ID database, the Ghana Health Service database, and the births and death certificate, births and deaths registry database. What we are doing is that way in hono yabemano 2 identity numbers, Ghana card number and birth certificate number at the same time. There is no need to go and worry for the child. Say, how am I digitally on the mobile phone of the mother? It's working now. And yes, something that is coming in the future. And I don't know any country in the world where at birth you are giving these 2 identities at the same time. The national ID and the birth certificate identity. And so I believe for Ghana, it is very, very good what we are doing. The Etosono said, Ghana card, it is also helping us deal with corruption. It has helped us. As they say, the issue of ghost workers is no longer there for government payroll. As I made it too, Jana say, to deal with the government payroll ghost workers, I ask that we link every worker to their Ghana card. Because every worker has a fingerprint war. But minim say in some for the only fingerprints. In some for the fingerprint. And he linky Ghana card ID with workers In some for the United to Milka National Service Database 44,000 ghost workers. 44,000. Savings of 420 million Ghana cedis. Just one institution. Your core SNIT. Your core linkage of Ghana card to the SNIT pension payroll. 29,000 ghost pensions. Over 300 million Ghana cedis. Savings. We took them out. Yako Cleaning Controller and Accountant General database. And then we can knock our chests and say that Ghana government payroll ghost workers are no longer on it. We've cleaned the whole thing up. An idea we have been living with for a very long time. We couldn't deal with it, but the Ghana card has solved the problem for us. A lot of money every year as a result. And then the Ghana card number is now your Senate number, it's now your National Health Insurance number, it's also your tax identification number. Hereby, the whole of Ghana, only 4% of the adult population had tax identification number. 4% means 96% of the adult population had no tax identification number. And Amika said, let's make the Ghana card number the tax identification number. Yes, we have moved the adult population with tax identification number from 4% to 85% in one go. So it is very, very good. The also saying we went and made sure the Ghana card is linked with the International Civil Aviation Organization database in Montreal, Canada. It went through all the steps. It passed all the steps. So the Ghana card can be recognized at 44,000 airports and border points in the world. 44,000 airports and border points in the world. And then Uko Abrochia, Uko Dubai, Uko China, Uko Germany, Uko France, Japan, all countries outside Ghana. Uko na passport eko yera, ubetimiafa Ghana card, Afroplane, Abagana. Ubetimiafa Ghana card, ako ticket or uwa ticket mboa, na wako for plane no, they will accept it. Because it's part of the ACAO database. Ghana, they will accept it. We have not yet gotten to the point where you can use it to travel abroad from here. But from abroad coming back home, once they see it, they will allow you to board the plane and come. And that is the power of digitalization. What is happening? And it's saying, before the end of this year, a Jumabi Airport, so Wakotoka International Airport, Nyamia Doma, before the end of this year, arrivals, the e-gates, electronic gates. So electronic gates, Ebe Juma with the Ghana card. Uwa Ghana card, uwe Ghana nina ubedu Ghana. And here say we call immigration desk bimo. Udi Ghana card I got to the immigrant e-gates hono na apie amao na we remove na oko. It's very simple. You don't need an immigration officer to stamp your passport and let you in. You will get it. You will making things easy. They talk to Nyame next year with the new policy be ever. So our policy never say information bia ehia wo passport mo wo Ghana card also. The whole information on your passport, even more, is on the Ghana card. And you have a changing passport application system. Uwa Ghana card and here say we make it different application for a passport. To your usika, you have print passport no ambao, and then off you go. It's going to be a very simple system of passport application for Ghana. You hear how you say you need digital, you need address system for Ghana. Because say let's use a digital address system. Major problem. The address system is very important for any country. The digital address system say every part of Ghana will digital address. Every property will digital address. So here say country we say koko sell no koko wura na wa fahana blue house you wa faha here you and then digital address I will make baby so digital address. And Ghana is the second country in the whole world to implement a national scale digital address system. The whole world, we are number 2 to implement the digital address system. Then the third major change I push to bring about any mobile money interoperability. One of the big problems in our system was that so many people, because of the nature of the financial system, not only need bank accounts, need access to financial services. Nami World Bank of Ghana, one of the projects I worked on with Reverend Kwamina Dako, e-switch card. No, some kind e-switch. That was one of the problems. Oko Malawi, but Oko Huye, Oba and Oba country, and I say, wait, you say, e-switch in the Ghana, and through his intervention, or the governor Momo account to bank account, or from bank account to Momo account. Or what I say, young fa, Ishishefu from mobile money interoperability. The first in Africa to go between Momo account and bank account and to Momo account, and from one network to the other, all at the same time. Nani pa be bringing this because it hasn't been done in Africa. They say yes na yetimi aye. They say any movement also from Momo to bank, from one network to another. Ni nyina. And Ghana, I have a vision, say, to build on the things I hear, to make it possible to do so many things. So my vision spans a large area. Firstly, GD said we need to focus on agriculture. Agric is very, very important. We should never underestimate. No country in the world has developed without agriculture. That food problem has to be solved. So maybe per se, commercial farming, large-scale farming, irrigation-driven farming, mechanized farming. All the big countries that have solved the problem of agriculture, they have done commercial agriculture, technology-driven agriculture, precision agriculture, predictable agriculture. Sana me pese Ghana so let us focus and help the farmers in agriculture. So, and then the first thing. Second thing, the major change in the area of power generation. We perceive Ghana to move away from the reliance on oil and gas to generate electricity, to rely on solar power. I want us to go for solar power. We say yes, she share solar power was 2,000 megawatts over the next 4 years. 2,000 megawatts is more than half our consumption of electricity. Then we will be able to bring down the cost of power by over 50%. That will make our businesses competitive. So solar power, here said, you share foreign exchange, oil or gas. The solar power, free. You can import from solar area. Yes, we are running away from the sun, but we can harness it to generate power. We have started with some solar power, but you hear in bigger quantities. So you per se movie through 2,000 megawatts, and that will be very important. But to do this, importing solar panels. That doesn't make sense. Let's set up the factories and manufacture the solar panels here in Ghana. We'll manufacture them here in Ghana and create the jobs and even export to our neighboring countries. The also is to empower the private sector, reduce government's role in the economy in terms of expenditure, and realign it to the private sector. Private sector, not there, they can do a lot for government, but government generally, I agree, say everything has to be done by government, but that doesn't work. So if you want something done quickly, you get the private sector to do it. Digitalization, all of it has been done by the private sector. It's not government that has taken its money. And government as fast as we have done. Because do in the middle now almost is And yes, sir, then the project will be incomplete. But with the private sector, the private sector has a profit motive. That project and now tech, the hostels are not government hostels. They are private sector hostels. So that is the thinking. So let's make a lot available for the private sector to do. If they do it, they can get money. If you build prisons for me, if I want to build prisons, the new policy, let's allow the private sector to build the prisons, and we will rent the prisons from the private sector for the next 25 to 30 years. We'll give them an off-taker agreement. Now you're renting prisons, no? Prisons, no? Very quickly. Now you're kakra, to do other things. So you use the private sector to do it. You say you top buses, Emma schools, and you say you go 700 buses. Now you going to but you can say private sector, bring in the buses, who leads the buses. Now you do every month, and then you will get your money. And then you will take care of the buses for us as the soul of the buses. So I'm reducing government expenditure by 3% of GDP. Now it is a private sector. That's about it. Also be and now I'm policy. I'm changing a tax system. The tax system. The tax system, no say a high drink kakra. So many people are in conflict with GRA because of taxes. The tax bill, bro, you don't even understand it. So the last 2 years I've been studying tax systems across the world. Say, make sure share tax system which will be very simple and effective in Ghana. Research almost said there was one country in the world where every year for the last 10 years they have been number 1 in tax competitiveness. Number 1 for 10 years. Estonia. Ohona me say yanko Estonia. Enti minimi team ye sorry ye call Estonia. Ye ne president, ne prime minister, ne finance minister, ne tax authorities. Ye we had separate meetings. Ne suya adia omo ye. It was very simple. Homo system no a simple cry. It's called a flat tax system. A 10% will be at 10%. A 15% will be at 15%. Of course, you make provisions to take care of the poor, to exempt them from up to certain threshold. But it's a very simple system. And then one who say, the church figured this out a long time ago with the tithe. You hear what churches know. You figured it out a long time ago. And we say it's our system no Ghana to make sure we have a simple, transparent system where everybody can calculate their tax. You don't need an accountant to calculate your tax for you. If it's 10%, if you have made profit of 1,000, you pay 100, and that is the end of the story. As far as taxes is concerned, if I calculate and now calculate it, now we do our tax on the mobile phone. Not me. Me pese ye share 2025. Me pese ye starting on a clean slate for all businesses and all individuals. So next year, Nyamiado may grant tax amnesty for all businesses and all individuals. Tax amnesty. Obia be starting from 0. We will start from 0. Now saying 2 months ago, we call Vatican. And because Sra Pope, because you buy a book, because Vatican, many Pope, ye book, ye nanti air court na, Nanny Pepe air, you may be me who said some workmen were working. Let me be silent and at the end of course of the event of Moye. Or say, more year preparations for next year. Or say next year a jubilee year. So it's a year of forgiveness. Now dear, I say, we dear Matthias here pa. Me soon next year, me the forgiveness of taxes. Bawaumia. Now we are jubilee year no for so yamiado yes 3 years. Now second area in terms of tax changes are me person made import duty regime. import duty regime. And in a major area, me person the problem my analysis are sharing. One big problem I say we don't have predictability in the import duty regime. What cranium now what they said me duty 10,000 cities. Ebe do hano no kwa na wo ka kiro say exchange rate asesa wo say we betua to 20,000 na wait me tua na ya sisi uniema utimi tua so a wo ye gedefo na wo ba ejoma wo the price no ebe cost aka enti uncertainty no emboa enti me pese me introduce predictability in the import duty regime. And he may perceive the flat taxes in cities. In cities. Flat taxes in cities. Every your import duty regime. So, magazine na craft spare parts. You perceive you want a flat duty for spare parts in cities. A 40-foot container, a 20,000 is 20,000 cities. Put the bar, 20,000 cities. That is the duty. It's predictable. A 20-foot container, now the 10,000, I know it will 10,000. A ricer, now a flat duty for 20 and 10 in cities. So predictability will hold, and you can plan. And now obeying say the duty no ACTN. Now everybody, therefore, you don't have the inflationary bias. Say duty across royalty, we are also increasing. Samo and boye. So that is the first reform. Flat tax in cities for import duty. The second reform, say Usha Togo, Omo duty ever form change, sing Ghana. Yes, sir. Usha, Nipa Bebrese say, Omo the container air called Togo. No more called Clay or Ho. Now, Omo smuggling near Mano Abagan. Somewhat. Sana Kosu. It Omoya Sana, Ghana, ye duty revenue no. Eko Togo for her. It is the new policy back. Yamiado. New policy Rebecca said Ghana's duty cannot be higher than Togo's duty. We will cap the Ghana duty to the Togo duty. It can be lower, but it cannot be higher. Yaya the Sanwa, all the smugglers will disappear like the ghost workers. Yaya the Sanwa, they will move like the ghost workers. So everything will come through Ghana. With the flat taxes and everything, I begin to say those major reforms, no, the major other thing I may for Ghana, no say, me say moving Ghana away from the cash economy to a credit economy, credit system. Usha Ghana ha, upeso to bibia, just over cash, ubesifia cash, ubetoka cash. Furniture, cash, TV, BBI a cash economy of Ghana. Aborigine is a credit economy, credit system. So Ghana Aborigine tria next $1,000. Over to mayor spending up to $10,000. No, we tria kakra. Ghana dear, we tria 1,000 cities, and one no, and do one man for book. Now, being answer. So, me per se, you're moving Ghana towards a credit economy. But Aborigine, they are more credit economy, no, and they say, more data, more link over databases, no, more better calculating everybody the individual credit score. And they are from the credit score. Obia on the credit score. We obia ultimate bills are credit score is high. But we obia who come up this year. G credit, you better show credit score. If you have a good credit score, you need a only good one. You have and I say interest rate, very, very high. Ghana, they intimate calculating credit score. Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, individual credit scores, South Africa, Rwanda, the only country in Sub-Saharan Africa that I am aware of. individual credit score. Yamiado Ghana, so because of our digitalization, no, Yesu Yedru, Mera, we are about to introduce individual credit scoring for Ghanaians. Now we say next year na ebeba, but no, Yamiado, it is coming live this year in 2024. We will start the individual credit scoring. NTBR, I will go and launch it. And then we will start it. And our Ghana card here will have an individual credit score because it's linked. And then Simon, it starts a whole new system for Ghana. We'll be the second country in Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, to have the individual credit scoring. They also for me to transform this country, we need railways from across Western Line, Eastern Line, we need railways. I want to make sure we can interest the private sector to come and help us build the railways. I think that we can do it, and I believe it is possible. Other countries have done it. We just have to make sure the incentives are there, and they will come and do it for us. And the railways, the other major policy I want a close relationship between the church and faith-based organizations and the government. We want I'm afraid the golden age of a relationship between the church and the faith-based organizations and the government. I didn't think the church has been the foremost development partner of government. The foremost development partner of government. When we talk of development partners, usually we are thinking of foreigners. But no, how many schools do they build? How many hospitals do they build? How many people do they take care of? How many universities do the external development partners take care of? No, the churches are building hundreds and hundreds of schools, hundreds and hundreds of hospitals, hundreds and hundreds of universities, and so on. They are the number one development partners of government. But when you look at the churches, the exemptions, the incentives we give to our external development partners, we don't give it to our churches and faith-based organizations. We don't. If an external development partner wants to build a hospital, we'll give them all the tax exemptions, import duty exemptions, and so on. If the church wants to do the same thing, we don't do it. We are going to flip it and make sure that the church gets the same incentives as we give to the external development partners to do work in Ghana. So we are going to reintroduce that very, very clearly. We will get the same incentives. They also, we will not tax churches, not under my government. There will be no taxes on churches. It's a no-no. It's a no-no. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. There also be in our relationship with the churches, we want to find a way to help, to get the churches to help us manage our schools. The churches have a lot of capacity, a lot of experience, but there's a lot of indiscipline creeping up in our schools. A lot of indiscipline. But I believe, sir, the churches will find a good way for the churches to come and help us in the management of the schools. The fourth area, as far as this relationship between the church and the state, I think I'm referring to the golden age I'm introducing, is on the area of our values, especially relating to LGBTQ. We will not accept it. Our religion doesn't accept it. Our values don't accept it. We will not accept it. Not in Ghana here. We will stand firm no matter the consequences. We will take the consequences. And we will defend our values. We will defend our culture. We will defend our religion. It's no, no, and no to LGBTQ matters. We will not agree. We will not agree. We will not agree. Tokosaki, that we get that done is so important. There are many things, but I want us to focus also on jobs for the youth. Jobs for the youth, to make sure also that we can deal with Galamsey with very smart policy, that we can deal with Galamsey, involve the chiefs more, regulate the area, and make sure we can push all of the small-scale miners into defined areas of activity where we can regulate them. Sano, tourism, creative arts, sports. I want to train 1 million youth in digital skills. They can be school dropouts, but we can train them to be coders, to be software engineers. We will train 1 million youth, and they can work even from any village. They can be working in America, they can be working in Canada, and so on, as long as they have a laptop to work on. So we are going to bring the youth into the digital age. Mede masema ba iwiye no me pese mu ina mu se obia ka se uhwe vice president a omo aba Ghana hu obi a waye ejuma esen Dr. Mahamudu Bawaumia anyasa kire se vice president ejuma no ma pass enti mu be promote me mu promote me promote me na me koye president ejuma anyasa ma pass vice president ejuma I can't promotion no na mo promote me na ma koye president ejuma no because you see agrono be so a na efe na petututu agrono mo be hu se e ko tena ho a e be so pa the systems and fighting corruption, presenting more a compelling vision for Ghana. So from day one, meaning right from day one, I know what to do. Honeymoon, me be president for 8 years. And yes, 8 years, literally say, me for 4 years, now my son will change you. And yes, it say, me say, Mutin Mamia, just a year more me age, my year more me back, more renew my lances. Into me, Kakani view. Mumania, I'll be more accountable to you. I'll work hard. Say, me ba na ma report here ma mo say me ye say na me say me be me so ma ye na mo ni so aso na mo de driver's license no ekuta me bio na na ko akwetwika no enti media me wa accountability obi de mo de manual or 4 years fail Muntin kabio mo o koni honeymoon na samba bye bye mu hulu bio no accountability media accountability no ho me baba na Ghana any we are seeing now digital age we are going digital the whole world now yengina mo why oh yeah, the best position to take Ghana digital. And yeah, Mr. Digital. And yeah, Ghana. And the mobile buyer money. You never see. Let me see what you know. You never see.
Yeah, now I'm cold.
Check corruption. Systems in New One said they're not ghost workers. It wasn't the politicians na Omoji Sasikeyu behind. Okay. That is what you do. What's going on. Sir Adiana a coso for many years. Different governments say, but still not a coso. But yefa new system by you say yen linking Ghana card number to the employee, then goes names complete. The corruption there is over. Those behind no anymore. The same way you digitalize DVLA, the same way anti-corruption also about for ports also is the same thing. So kakra and the Americans, for example, in passports, next year you apply from home on your mobile phone. Now what you see, they will deliver it to you because no need to pay a bribe. Now what watching? Say your platform be a friend of Ghana.gov. Ghana.gov platform, yet all the public institutions, MMDAs, so far we have 1,517 MMDAs. So far we've been able to onboard 1,507. So we are only left with 10 to complete the process. 10. So we are 1,507. So if you want any service na Oko sa platform so Ghana.gov, you can apply for the service. You can also pay for those that are receiving payment. And therefore, in here say Oko to your bribe, now we nya sa service no. So that we have 99% of MMDAs on it. So SaaS system is not but there's a new system me person me dey ba your friend of blockchain. Sa blockchain no because check corruption. Because blockchain no na say anything what the system no to all of government. Me person me dey blockchain no to all of government. It means anything you cannot go and change it in the system. To say land registry say that we are going to digitalize that place and you cannot go and remove somebody's name and put somebody's name. The whole system will be in a chain. Will be a blockchain system. No? And so far, Dubai says they want to be the first country in the world to be a blockchain government. Mr. Messi, I want Ghana to be the first country in Africa to be a blockchain government so that we can see transparency across all of government. Transparency will where corruption better for. And I believe that we are going to do blockchain in Ghana. Now it's me and the BIA in a transparent fashion across government. So systems, digitalized systems, make systems transparent. So then corruption also ever down as far as those behind the politicians are concerned and the politicians themselves. The issue current economic crisis is a major issue. Following COVID, following Russia-Ukraine war, most economies in the world, across the world, I don't know which country has been prevented, has been saved from that. countries are suffering that. Ghana, so we suffered that, and things were really bad. But say we are picking up a bit, but there's still a lot to be done. But I believe, once we continue on the path that we are continuing, we can still do a lot more. But if without some of the social interventions, then there would have been a lot more suffering in Ghana. If you didn't have free senior high school education, people have to pay their children's school fees in these difficult times. It would have been difficult. During COVID, we gave electricity for free for a whole year for some of the electricity consumers. Same with water. The free TVET, so ABBA, helping people. And so we have many interventions. The National Health Service is still functioning in many respects. So we are definitely trying to help this process. But I know, it hasn't been easy for a lot. But we have to create jobs and we have to keep things going. So far, we've created 2.1 million jobs in 7 years. That is major, the highest of any government since independence. But we have to do more. We have to create more jobs. That will be a big matter. The other one, Reverend Owusu-Ansah, as far as SDA is concerned, it's a big problem. The election, but Saturday, also they have an issue as far as voting on Saturday is concerned. So we are going to have to talk to the EC, but definitely I believe the next parliament we have to try to pass something or reason with the EC so that we can have a date like they have in the US, say first Tuesday of the month of December. Then that solves the problem. At one time, so we don't run into these problems. I think we need to change it. But we are ceremony say, give unto Caesar what is due to Caesar, and give unto God what is due to God. Voting no a civic responsibility. And come on, me be agreeing na wakotoa bano na no home faso be pa. Reverend again, so I say the issue of OIC, which is Organization of Islamic Cooperation. I say Medigana, Mekwaku, Remo, and all of that. We are a secular state, a religious state. So we have to. This country is at least. Maybe 80% Christian. Whichever way you pass, Parliament, I think it's probably 90% plus. Judiciary, all the organs. You cannot come and run a religious government. You fail. And yes, sir, you will not go anywhere. Where are you going to pass? To pass the law, you go to the parliamentarians, you take it to Supreme Court, and answer it. You won't get anywhere to pass in that sense. So we are running a secular state, and we are going to run a state which satisfies the will of our people. We are not going to go against the will of our people. That is what we are going to do. That is the other question is, will you forget all of this? I cannot forget. Many of the things I'm writing about, I wrote a book in 2010. The book I wrote in 2010, the things I'm talking about are in there. These are things I believe in. And Usha, as Vice President, have been tested. Ejuma Mudia Shemensa, I've done, I can point to 33 different policies I've initiated or championed as Vice President that we have done. 33. 80, Mijidi say more promoting me now with the president. And some American made this super because I am committed to all the things I'm saying. So Becca said, do we have a platform to display QR code, any looking for people to contribute and to constructively criticize, and also how we tell the country what we have done. Okasawi and I say, Mrs. Osebo, so she should have actually come to my office to work from my office. Because what is very interesting, as it has been done. And I'll be launching what we call the Citizens App very, very, very soon. The Citizens App, before the end of the year, the Citizens App will be launched. And it is a way of the government communicating with the citizens. So if you have a criticism to make or you have a report to make, say there's a pothole that has developed on this road and nothing is being done about it, how does the government hear from the citizen? So you have a portal, the citizen will go and make a report on this or that, or suggest it and all of that. So it is a major app which has all of government on it. Every office is on it, and so yeah, the launching sometime this year. It's not long. The main work has actually been completed. So Nyamia Duma in another couple of months, yeah, the launching Citizens App, with the QR codes and everything to allow communication between government and the citizens, so that government can also communicate to the citizens that this is what we want to do, this is what we want you to know, and everybody will get the message. So the Citizens App, Basso live before the end of the year. And in terms of what government's achievements are, we have launched the Performance Tracker. The Performance Tracker has a comprehensive list of government achievements, and I think sometime this month the updated Performance Tracker will be also released, and so there's a lot of work so that matter will also come in. And then the issue of the message, as we know, we had a lot of discussion. I chaired the manifesto committee for 2016, and you know, we came out with free SHS and all of that, and that was after we put together the whole manifesto and sat down and looked at it all and decided that this is the theme we should run with. At the moment, we have different suggestions, but I'm going to wait till the manifesto committee chaired by Chairman Zabusu finishes their work, and then we will sit down and look at the manifesto and select a theme that we want to put it out. So we will let everybody be a little patient, and we will come out with a theme, but it is not going to be 24-hour economy that we cannot explain. So we will have our theme that we will have. There are competing areas, but we'll look at it all and do. So the other thing is, how will you implement all the things you are talking about? You implement it with hard work, with honesty, with collaboration with all stakeholders to make sure we have a successful implementation. A lot of these are ideas that just require implementation. It doesn't really require so much money that you need to put in to do this. I believe that many of the new policies I'm suggesting, we can get the private sector to do with some administrative changes and so on. I don't see any problem. You see that we have done so much so far, and we can continue on that level to implement all the things that we want to implement. It is possible, and I want us to believe that it is possible.